I'm just gonna,
Careful.
I'm gonna just say legend.
This y'all about to say okay, hip hop legend. Let's not get crazy.
Hip hop legend in the building. I don't think he was cool with Adabisi and them. You know what I'm talking about. Lord Jamar in the building. One more round of applause for him, man. Welcome to Flip the Script.
Hey, what's good?
Oh, wow. That's a lot of... What's good, Lord Jamar? How you doing, brother?
I'm great. DJ G Money.
What's up, boss?
What in the octopus face was that
Octopus face.
that you just had on?
I mean, listen, man. I ain't
you
gonna,
look like a squid face.
It do. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of warm though. It's cause it's a little cold outside today.
I mean, I don't get the technical, whatever the...
Because it wasn't really
tentacles.
like a beard necessarily.
Right.
Like, because it didn't even have a cutout for the
Yeah,
mouth.
it had a whole,
It
like-
was just...
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
What do you think they were thinking when they put that together?
Listen, first of all, I could tell it's crocheted. Okay, so somebody crocheted that. That's somebody's crochet experiment. It looked like
I think that
somebody's crochet project. Maybe it's like a rug that went wrong. They started it as a
Yeah,
rug, and they said, you know what? I'm gonna
watch
just
it.
turn this into a hat.
Man, I'm glad that's not my brand. I would feel
Now, who could I give this to? That's crazy enough to wear it.
This guy.
him.
DJ G Money.
This guy.
Facts.
I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you,
Appreciate you
bro.
coming out. You know, definitely a legend in the game. You know, as a DJ coming up, I still do play the records now. You know, from day one, I've been playing the joint. So definitely, good to have you on the couch. Good to have you on the platform. So, how you want to spend it today, man? How you want to do it?
Well,
today?
I don't want to. You see, usually with people like this, I jump out the window.
That's why I pull out. I want to make sure. I know how you want to do it.
I don't want to jump out the window with the questions yet. I wanna because you see, he is a guy that's like this.
He's
You
ready.
watch him, yeah, he's very.
I mean,
ready.
he sees it. He's a legend, so he
Yeah.
knows
And
how
he's
it
not
is.
letting me smoke in here, so now I'm like
Oh,
Yeah.
almost too sharp. Right
Yeah,
now.
he's sharp. Whew.
Yeah.
He could cut the wind.
I ain't had no drink or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to drink, we have drinks in there.
If I can't smoke, then I'm good.
Thank you, very good. 'Cause we ain't giving you a drink. We want you to drink. Let's start with the.
So we gonna-
pace how we do it, G.
We're gonna take our time with it, man. Take us back. Before.
Why were you hating on Eminem?
Oh man.
Come on, man. Stop. Don't do that.
Why were you hating on him?
Out the gate. Out the gate.
And like one of my boys said, that's some shit that's what you was gonna say. Well, I would listen, come on. You know and I know that's not what's going on.
What do you consider
So let's just knock it off.
to the people is considered hate?
I don't give a fuck. To his people it's considered hate.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? To the stands it's considered hate. To the people that would like to control and dominate the narrative of hip hop is considered hate to them. To me, it's self-preservation of my culture. Ain't no hate. I'm tired of talking about this dude. I don't have no hate for him. He's a good rapper. He's just not my cup of tea, nor is he a lot of people that I with cup of tea. And my final thing, I don't even want to really talk about this no more. I'm just saying, if black people who are the creators of hip hop don't crown you the GOAT, you're not the GOAT. That's it. Now, if that sounds hateful to you, that's your interpretation. But I'm telling you, that's my only thing. That's it.
So it's not a black and white thing. With
Oh
you.
yeah, it is a black and white thing because they only calling him the GOAT because he's white. Because there's plenty of niggas that rhyme just as good as that flip their words just in that, but nobody got them in those conversations. And they're not selling the amount of records that he was selling. He brought pride to white people in hip hop. Because before that, white people was looked at as super corny. Vanilla Ices and all that type of shit. He sold mad records. Did that make him good? MC Hammer sold mad records. Did that make him the GOAT? This is the only reason why they'll consider him the GOAT is because he sold the most in hip hop. But who did he sell it to? Not necessarily the creators. He sold it to the Johnny-come-latelys of the culture, the people that needed somebody like that. I could sell prosthetic legs to one-legged people all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy.
But so I don't really see a lot of people having a problem with him being the self-proclaimed GOAT, meaning that the people that, you said the people that you rock
Do
with.
you think he's the GOAT? Do you think Eminem's the greatest of all time?
No.
So
My
what
opinion.
are we talking about?
Hold on.
But who said he was though? Who said that?
A lot of people, they all up in my DMs, and I see it all the time. Like,
But then
I see a lot of people say this.
But don't you think it's a little
But not necessarily black people, and that's my point.
But don't you
We
think
live in two different worlds. In one world, in the white world, he is the GOAT. In the black world, probably Jay-Z is the GOAT.
Well,
True.
hip hop is one world though, no?
No, it's not.
Okay.
We don't live in one world. Like, let's not be naive here. There's a black world and a white world.
But hold on, it's kind of hypocritical because don't you said it's a. What is your stance on white people?
What is my stance?
What's your stance on white people? Yeah, I'm gonna get to a point.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Because you sit on a white man's couch a lot, which is Vlad TV.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a stance on white people, if you utilizing that opportunity to your best of your advantage, what do you look at? How do you view white people in coming into our sport and doing what we're doing? First of all, how you look at white people overall before? What's your stance on white
First of all, do you know my history as a 5%er?
I learned it. I learned it, but I have to ask these questions.
Okay, so we teach that the black man is God and the white man is the devil. I've sat on Vlad's couch and looked him in the eye, and he said, "Is the white man the devil?" And I said, "Yes."
Wow.
Go look it up.
It's there. I saw it.
So, but now my interpretation of the devil is probably different than your interpretation of the devil. A Christian's spooky interpretation. For me, a devil is someone who is weak and wicked, does weak and wicked things. You know what I mean? And if we look historically, the one who does the most weak and wicked shit on the planet has been the white man. And he does his weak and wickedness against original people, AKA black people, natives, aboriginals, whatever you'd like to call us. And through history, he's time and time again come within our culture, taken what he wants out of it, discarded us from what we started, and claimed it as his own. We have the Chuck Berrys and the Cab Callaways and all of these motherfuckers to attest to that, the Coltranes and all of that type of shit. And so I'm here knowing this type of history, and I'm just saying that shit ain't happening on my watch. It's not about hating white people. It's about loving black people.
Are you using Vlad to your advantage?
Yes. I use all things to my advantage. We use the record company to the advantage. We was on white people's record labels dropping science. We living in the white man. I'm going to the white man's supermarket, using that to my advantage because I got to eat. I'm using his currency for food, clothing, and shelter. What are we talking about here? Yes, Vlad has an infrastructure because I have my own show too.
Yes.
But when I put out videos, I could say the same exact shit that I say on Vlad, and I know when I go on Vlad, it's going to get 300, 400, 500,000 views, as opposed to my channel where, a good day, 20,000 or something. You know what I mean? Like, on a good day. Because he got an infrastructure that he's been 10 plus years
Facts.
working with his shit. And he knows the whole ins and outs, and he's got that. He's tapped in.
To a science. Exactly.
So if I want to say some shit or whatever, you know what I mean? And proliferate it to more people, wouldn't it make sense to go to the place that, you know what I mean, is already set up? This is why people sign record deals. It's why we signed a record deal. If we would have put out brand Nubian records back then on our own, you probably would have never heard of us. Let's keep it real. We didn't sign with the white man. So there's pros and cons to everything. You got to do what you got to do out here in this world. But see, I fuck with Vlad, though. You know what I mean? I fuck with Vlad because he don't have to fuck with me.
True.
He could just put a whole bunch of negative shit on his channel. Not to say I agree with everything that's on his channel, but at least he try to balance it out with certain shit. Motherfuckers like me, motherfuckers like Godfrey. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shit that, he's giving an alternative view that a white dude doesn't necessarily have to give. You know what I mean? So,
but, and excuse me. Yeah, click it. There we go. My thing is this: when I do my research, and when you read up on you, they have all these controversial things, and I looked at it like, well, either he's very smart, or he's being a hypocrite. Now, you stick to your guns, so I can't say you're a hypocrite. I think that it's a chess move. I think that is pushing the black message, pushing the message of our people, like you said, loving our people more. That's what it is. But you had said some controversial things to people, and my thing is like,
what I say controversial?
Well,
that people is a guest in the house of hip hop. That's controversial.
No.
Why? It was when I said it. That was controversial.
I think more controversial was about hip hop, which is true. But I think the homosexuality thing, was deemed more controversial than that. What? What?
He like, what?
It's the truth. He said it. He know what he said.
Okay. And?
Don't say it. Don't do that.
And what? Like what you want me to say?
What? And what? You said it. Why did you say it?
What did I say?
It said
tell me what I said.
Hip hop is not a place for homosexuality. That's what it said.
It's not. It's not.
And then they called you a homophobic, and you said you've been to a gay wedding with your friend.
I did. I'm not, first of all, to be phobic of something, okay, is a medical condition.
Oh, you go school me.
Somebody that's really phobic of something, when it enters the room, they're going to go running out in total fear. So stop calling people homophobic, because that's a false diagnosis from people that are not qualified to diagnose anything.
It's true.
That's number one, okay? I am not homophobic just because I disagree with certain morality that's trying to be pushed on our people in our culture, okay? Which is not indicative of who we really are as a people, historically. When you go back into Greek and Roman culture, that's part of their culture. That, not to say that we never did it in our culture, but it wasn't prevalent and it wasn't a normal thing. It was abnormal in our culture. In their culture, it was normal. So I'm just saying, don't try to impose your cultural norms on something we've already established. Since when was it cool in hip hop to like rhyme about gay shit? Like, answer me, sir. When was it ever cool
Well,
to come out with a record and be like, yo, I'm with that. I'm with those shits.
So you don't think hip hop could evolve and change?
Oh, this word evolve. Stop with this fucking evolve.
I'm just saying.
Hip hop can go different ways. You know, it can evolve, it can devolve.
Because
it can move in different ways. It can move naturally and it can move unnaturally.
I'm about to get him.
I'm just saying because it came from the Bronx.
Get me.
It came from the Bronx. You know,
it.
New York
Came from
City.
the Bronx, right?
Came from New York City.
Yeah. Watch this.
It expanded. It went to the South. It went to the West Coast. It went to the Midwest.
So what about one of our pioneers in hip hop? What you heard about him, Africa Bambaattaa?
Yep.
Huh?
And I didn't agree with that.
What you got to say about that?
I already talked. You see, first of all, you got me here now rehashing a bunch of shit that, you know what I mean?
I want to know for myself.
I don't necessarily want to rehash, bro.
Oh.
Listen.
You don't want to talk about him.
I've already talked about him.
Interesting.
Have you done the knowledge?
Of course I did.
Okay, so I said if he's guilty of that was some bullshit. Okay? From the onset of it, what made me raise an eye is when at some point he tried to say that he didn't know his accuser. Now, me for a fact, I knew that he knew him because I had been in the studio with both of them before. The dude that was his accuser was like the receptionist of the motherfucking studio that we started at, which was Strong City Studios up in the Bronx on Allerton Avenue. A Zulu Nation studio, basically, run by my man Jazzy J, who is African Bambaattaa's DJ, basically. So when he said that, I was like, damn, why the fuck would he say that? That just alarmed me. I don't know if the shit is true or not, but if the shit is true, it's foul, and I'm not with it, and that's not hip hop, and I don't give a fuck. That doesn't take away from what the fuck he's done in hip hop, from what he's pioneered. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, as a man, I don't co-sign that.
No, you don't co-sign.
Period. So, and especially little kids and shit like that too. Like, come on. Now, if you want to do gay shit, that's on you, bro. Like, grown men doing gay shit, I don't really care about that type of shit. I'm just saying, stop trying to normalize some shit that's not necessarily normal. That's it. It's not hate, bro. And that's why I said, and when I brought up the shit about going to the wedding, is I'm not trying to like just pull that out the pocket. I'm just saying this is a dude that I've known since I was a little kid, and I didn't, you gay. I was like, we always kind of knew this guy was gonna be gay. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of those dudes, but he grew up with us, and so we still fuck with him. And then when he got married, his own mother didn't even go to the fucking wedding, but I fucking went. You know what I mean? All the way upstate, all kind of, you know what I mean? Come on. Man, you gonna call me homophobic? Like, come on, like, knock it off.
I don't feel that. Hold on, G. I don't feel that way.
I'm just saying, like, I don't like when people try to put those labels on them. You know what I mean? Because that's not who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I work from a place of love, bro. I don't work from a place of hate. Like, the internet is so used to dealing with hate and people hating on shit. I'm not coming from a place of hate. I'm coming from a place of love. I love black people. And I love what we're really about. You see what I'm saying? I love us in our natural state, not in this up, mentally warped state that, this society got us in. That's it.
So that does the same rule apply for females now in hip hop?
What do you mean?
As far as females being lesbians or?
Oh yeah, of course. I don't fuck with that.
So you don't co-sign that either?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So one more question till we slow things down because and you're sharp. My main thing is that my main thing is that when you hear like predominant black leaders of today's societies robbing the people, how does that make you feel? Like, you hear, and I'm not saying it's true, I don't know about the evidence, like Umar Johnson or the brother Polites, how does that make you feel? Because you're for the people.
I don't it never makes me feel good. Whenever I would hear it from back in the days, whoever might have been doing it, I never want to feel like my people are being taken advantage of. And that's why a lot, most things that I say, I'm just giving knowledge. I'm just making knowledge born. I'm not really asking you for shit. You want to donate to the, Godcast so we can, up our production value, that's fine. But I'm not saying, any knowledge that I share with you, you got to pay me for this shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is knowledge is you know what I mean? You're supposed to deal equally in your knowledge. Deal in equality in your knowledge. And that's what I was taught, so that's what the fuck I do. You know what I mean? I learned some shit, and if I feel like it could be useful or valuable to someone else and help them look at something from a different perspective, I make that knowledge born, put that into the universe. You know what I mean? And the ones that fuck with it, and the ones that don't, I don't need everybody to agree with me. You know what I mean? Those that do value what I say, and those that don't be like, oh, he's a loudmouth asshole, whatever the fuck they want to call me, old, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. They don't hurt me.
How do you feel about these characters though? Like, how do you feel about Umar Johnson? How do you feel? What's your take on Umar Johnson? And
See, I don't. I've met both of these guys as acquaintances. I met Polite and I met Umar Johnson. I hear the rumors about things, so I don't really know. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say until I get more knowledge on that. I don't like to speak on certain things without having enough knowledge on it. But I hear the rumors, and they make me, I hope they're not true. You know what I mean? That's all I could say. I hope they're not true.
And I have one more question, and then we're gonna take it easy because I'm proud. I'm proud of you. You made me proud.
Okay.
I respect Vlad TV.
Mm-hmm.
He has, like you said something to me that's dope, that he has it down to a T. I learned from Star. I follow Star and Buck Wild.
I fuck with Star.
That's
too.
the route
my
I
guy.
follow. We know he came in and took the game over.
Yes, he did.
And I learned from him. I study him closely. Vlad TV also has, he has the game down pack. He knows the algorithm. But when you co-sign him, you just said, I with Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear things like Vlad has lawsuits, like in 2018, there was a lawsuit filed against him, saying that when he said the line like, black people aren't slaves anymore, they accuse him of being racist. How does that make you feel as a person? If you co-sign him and I'm with you, if I co-sign him, I'm like, Lord Jamar co-sign him because your word is a big deal. But how does that make you feel? That's your man, huh? Don't let me turn up on you. How that make you feel, man?
First of all, again, like you asking me about things that I don't have full knowledge on. You see what I'm saying? Like I would need more knowledge on what you even talking about. You see what I'm saying? This lawsuit. I've heard rumors of lawsuits but I don't know the full details and all of that.
So that's you. You're a type of person that you need to know every single thing in order before you make an
Well,
assessment.
I need to know enough to make an educated assessment on something.
But
I'm not just gonna roll up on the scene and be like, he did the murder, and I don't fucking know. I didn't see no gun or nothing like that. You see what I'm saying?
That's
like, so it's like, yeah, like give me some sort of information in order to process, and then I can better talk about some shit. But what I will say is, shit, we all got some bullshit with us somewhere, somehow. Nobody's perfect. I'm not saying this dude Vlad is perfect. He probably do some shit. Like I catch him out first of all, I'm one of the main motherfuckers that be screaming on him on his own channel when he says some fucking crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like,
do you feel that? Do you, in your heart of dealing with him, and I'm gonna leave it at this, do you personally feel that Vlad TV's, two questions. First, do you feel like he is a culture vulture? That's one. And do you think that he's a racist? Two questions. The culture vulture first.
First of all, well, the culture vulture, again, if you watch one of the videos, I sat there with him and made him say, under the definition of what a culture vulture is, are you a culture vulture? And he had to say yes. Okay? So I don't know if you missed that episode.
I'm a culture vulture as well.
You see? And I've said that too, that black people can be culture vultures.
I know, but
as
why
well.
I can't get you to answer? Just flip the script.
I'm telling you.
Nobody want to why go. You want me to go to? I saw it. I saw what you said. It was monumental. This shit is all
I don't
over.
like rehashing shit.
So
So
say
if you're
that.
gonna make me, I said that already.
You said that earlier.
I said you got me here rehashing a lot of shit that I already fucking answered like a million fucking times. And it's like,
I don't know about a million times, but I saw you.
Well,
Culture vulture, the person's very
yes,
interested in the art.
yes.
Right?
If you, well, it's also to me, it's somebody that's from outside of the culture who's profiting off of something that they're outside of. You know what I mean? Again, when we was plugging turntables into light posts and all that type of shit, it was blacks and Puerto Ricans. That's who the was there. Like, it wasn't no white people there. Only when Bambaattaa and them went downtown to the Roxy and the Funhouse, and that's when the white people got exposed to the hip hop. But they didn't fucking, when it was really going down, yes, y'all, a bit, all that wasn't nowhere to be found. That's when they wasn't even fucking with hip hop. They was literally hating on hip hop, hoping this shit was gonna go away. Once shit didn't go away, now you want to be part of it and all this bullshit and act like, we built this house together. No, we didn't. We built the house and then we welcomed y'all in as guests. Now, let me ask you something. You go away on vacation sometimes, yes?
Yeah.
You go to a hotel, right?
Mhm.
Are you the guest of the hotel, right? Do you feel bad when you're a guest of a hotel?
No.
Or do they treat you good?
They treat you good.
Why would you feel bad if you go to a hotel, they welcome you in, they fucking feeding you, all inclusive? Why would you feel bad about that? Unless you were so arrogant that you felt like you had to own every fucking thing, and just because I'm here now, I'm a long-time resident at the hotel and I know every fucking body. That still doesn't mean I own the motherfucker.
Hold on though, but let's say I'm a guest and I start contributing.
That
greatly.
doesn't mean you own it.
Okay, so Eminem
doesn't
said
mean
he
you
owned
own
hip hop.
I'm saying he's not one of the architects.
Okay.
He and we as black people, because you have the architects and then there's the inheritance. They'll pass their inheritance down to the next generation. So we as black people are direct descendants of the architects of all things, really. And then these people are invited to participate. And we're not saying you can't participate in all of that, but we're just saying that we as the architects, we designed this shit. So we know, you know what I mean?
Right.
We know how big it is. We know what it's supposed to be. And when you now come in, like as the guest, I don't give a how long you've been staying at this hotel, could you now go in the lobby and start moving furniture around?
No.
Mm-mm.
No. And if you did, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir, but you're going to have to leave that alone. And if you didn't listen, you kept doing it, they're going to get security on your fucking ass and kick you out.
Some things we don't have control over. See, no matter how much
Right. And some things we do.
No matter how much you try to paint the narrative or get people to agree, some things we just don't have control over.
So what are you saying? What
saying?
don't we have control over?
They're not going to take him out. People consider. You said something earlier that I know a lot of black people that consider Eminem the GOAT. I mean, the last thing that he put out, they was like, "Oh, he's bugging."
Yeah,
Jay-Z is, but at one point they considered him the GOAT.
Who?
A lot of people.
Who?
A lot of people my age, black people, teenagers, young adults at the time. Being honest.
I think if you did a real survey, bro.
So you did a real survey.
I'm just saying. Well, no, not. We
Don't be
need to.
sarcastic. Don't be sarcastic.
We need to.
Don't come at me with sarcasm.
I'm not coming at you with
You're
sarcasm.
cutting the air again with
I'm
the sharp,
just
with the sharp
saying.
blade, bro.
Seriously, Niggas wasn't listening to Eminem like that. Like, let's fucking keep it real. When did you go to a club and hear fucking, I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the Slim Shady.
Yeah.
Tell me when you ever heard that in the club.
Back in the
He
day.
has some
You
fire.
never heard that in the club. You're
Hi,
lying.
my name is.
You're lying.
But the
they
club-
never played that in the club.
Nowadays,
only
everybody
the
want to
club
talk. Now
matters?
they got something to say.
No, I'm
when
not
that
saying
comes out,
only the club matters.
saying, that's
but
the-
I'm just saying, like, that's not the type of shit that real niggas was
him
riding
and
around
Dr.
to.
Dre, that song played in the club a lot.
I'm saying an Eminem song.
Oh,
not,
by
not
himself.
song, by himself. Not songs that he was on, because some songs that he was on with other people did play in the club. You're right.
No, I can't say I heard Eminem in the club
None.
before.
How about at a black
can't.
barbecue?
I can't.
How about at a black barbecue? At the family barbecue?
I don't
Huh?
know.
Are they turning that on? No, they're not.
They turned
No,
on
they're
you. We
not.
happy. That's what they turned on. That's,
I'll tell you where they're playing Eminem, at the white fucking bars, at the college bars and shit like that. You know, with drunk white people thrashing. I'm Slim Shady.
So that
acting
doesn't
like
count for pop?
jerks and shit, huh?
So that don't count. So let's say
We're talking about this too much. Get off of this. Enough.
I'm trying to
Because this
understand
is
it.
the part that makes it seem like I'm hating on him. Because I'm trying to convince y'all that we don't really listen to him, and
All right, so let's.
I shouldn't even have to do that. Y'all know that we don't really listen to him.
Let's say
so
it's someone
stop
else.
it. And I'm not saying.
let's say it's not him.
And I'm saying
Let's
it,
say
and
it's not
that's
him.
not against him. That's me just saying again that we can act like color doesn't matter and all that, but we know damn well there's a black world and a white world. Like, forget hip hop. Let's go to comedy. Like, you know, white people. Jerry Seinfeld is the funniest motherfucker or some shit. You see what I'm saying? For us, it's like Dave Chappelle or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, we live in two different worlds. Let's not get it twisted. Like whether we think we're in some post-racial society or not, we're not. You know what I mean? And Trump is proving that right now. Who the fuck you think it voted him in? The other white people. You know what I mean? Like the majority of these motherfuckers.
Right.
Because there's another world that wasn't fucking with that Obama shit.
I respect that. I think that you right. I just feel like, you know, some things you can't, you know, everybody gonna have their own opinion.
I know.
Individuality.
You just want to say shit that's gonna get me riled up.
No, individuality.
Get me
that's
to
the problem.
say some
You can't-
shit.
and I don't want you to. That's not what I'm
Niggas
here to
get
do.
views and shit.
Nah, but you know,
Because at the end of the day, that's what niggas love to do too. Is
What?
get these views.
we all like to get views.
You know what I mean? Like and try to push buttons to
But
get
it's
these
not about
views.
pushing buttons.
Yeah.
But you have to acknowledge that everybody's different.
Oh,
You know
of
what I
course.
mean? Times has changed, nigga. You up there. How old are you? About 50, 51, 52?
51.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I'm 32.
So
we
what-
look at things from a different lens, a
Right.
different scope.
and do
I'm
you
saying?
feel like because you're younger, is your scope better than mine?
No,
have
but
a
do you
new-
feel because you're older that your scope is better than mine?
Not necessarily better, but I feel like I have more experience than your
Is your
scope.
ears to the streets? Are you in tune
Absolutely.
with the young audience? Are you in tune with them?
Yep. Yes, I am. Maybe not as much as you, because of course you're younger, but I always make it a point to keep my ear to the street and with the young cats.
Can't argue at that. I just feel like how I'm gonna leave it on that is that you cannot change how somebody feels. Somebody feel that way, man. You just be like, all right, man, cool, man. If you feel that way, that Eminem is the GOAT, that's how
Listen,
you feel.
I'm just saying I'm gonna ride for
And I don't-
black people
and
all the
you
time.
are. And
That's
you
what
are.
I'm gonna do.
If I
And
don't
you're
think
not
you're,
gonna. It's
I don't
not
think
gonna
I don't
stop.
think I don't think you're a hater. I'm not gonna use that word. I think that you genuinely love your culture.
That's it. That's it. So can we just, you know what I mean? Just leave it at that.